Hello and welcome to another episode of It Came From the Page. And before we get into the topic of today's video, I'm going to announce my first ever live stream. Next Saturday on the 25th of this month of March at 3 p.m. LA time, which I don't know what actual time it is, 6 p.m. Eastern, and 4 p.m. my time. There's a whole there are so many different time zones going to be in this live stream, but just keep in mind 6 p.m. Eastern is probably the easiest for you to calculate whatever time period you are in. We are going to be doing a live stream all about dinosaur books, so to end up the month of Dinosaur March, and also to do a little bit of a celebration for reaching 500 subscribers. I'm almost at 600 now. It's taken me that long to do a 500 subscriber special, but hey, you're getting it. So Lexi, you can't complain anymore. She hasn't complained, but she's always like, when is this happening? And I'm like, it's gonna happen. I'm currently getting my swath of guest hosts, but I can confirm that Stephen Ray Morris of podcasting and mustache fame will be appearing because we are friends, and I always talk to him about dinosaurs. So he's gonna come on, and I'm gonna pitch a bunch of dinosaur books to him, and just kind of talk about the dinosaur books I'm reading, and just kind of talk about the history of dinosaur books. So that should be fun. You might sometime this week you might get a random sprints that are not scheduled because I'm trying to figure out how StreamYard works. So I might do one of those in between. But yes, I hope you join us for that. And if you miss it, it'll be archived on the channel. So looking forward to seeing you then. Today, I'm going to be talking about a very important topic. Libraries. Yes, I'm going to be talking all about libraries and some of the ways that you can take full advantage of libraries in case you're not doing so right now. I've been on the internet a long time, and let me tell you, some of the most insufferable humans alive are the people in the movie circle. It's not so much in books. Most booktubers are fine, and they have reasons. But in the movie world, there's this realm of elitism called physical media collecting. And it's a whole swath of people who go, oh, I should have collected physical media. And they just kind of lord it over people and are just the nth amounts of dicks about all of this. And I'm here to tell you, I collect a lot of physical media, right? I collect a lot of this. I collect so much of this stuff. Owning that is not an accomplishment, and it's nothing other than it's just a thing I like to do. Right, it's, if you're a person who enjoys physical media and you collect it, cool, more power to you. It's awesome. Keep doing that. This is specifically about the people who are dicks about it and think that they're better because they do. And it's like, no, you're not. It's just calm down. So anytime you ever get a discussion about physical media, there's always going to be that little bit of a repulsion for people like me who have spent enough time on the internet to meet enough of these people to go, I hate them. I hate them. But I am here to talk about one of the only truly vital things about physical media, and the reason why physical media is actually important, in my opinion. It's not about ownership. I don't think that ownership or owning things is like, I must own the physical copies. I like to do it because I like to collect physical objects and have a little library to look at and stuff like that, and I like special features and stuff like that. But what it's most important for is to ensure that libraries are always being used, because if you are a person who does not have the space or the money to do physical media collections, the library is always there for you, and you can use it to just kind of take something out of the library, read it, and then put it back, right? So that is one of the most important things about libraries in general, and something that a lot of people might not know about libraries, especially if you don't go into the section that they store them. There's a ton of movies in libraries, right? So libraries have Blu-rays, they have DVDs, they have video games. There's tons of video games at my local library. You can take out, rent out, and play, and then put back, all for free. And a thing about libraries that's always really cool, especially right now, is that you can access really rare and hard to find books. using, if it's not in your normal library system, you can use the interlibrary loans. Now, the interlibrary loans are something that you have to know where something is in order to really kind of like put the feelers out for it, right? And I think that that can kind of be a stumbling block for people, right? Like you're like, oh, I want to read this book. It's hard to find. It's expensive. I'm sure a library has it somewhere, but how do I find it? Well, there is a website called worldcat.org, and what you can do is you can type in a title that you're looking for, and it will tell you where that object is in relation to where you're like searching from. So you turn on your location, give like a little bit of information there, and they can tell you from your location where the nearest library that has the thing you are looking for is. So just recently, I got this in an interlibrary mail. So I got a loan from the library, and this is a King Kong ripoff, and it's actually written by an author of some renown, Ken. I'm not exactly sure how to pronounce his last name, so I'm just going to put the name up here and put one of his famous books up here. And he wrote this book under a pseudonym, and this is a tie-in to King Kong 76. It's basically like a ripoff using the fact that the new King Kong movie was coming out then to write his own King Kong story in a pulpy little thing. Online, to find this book is very, very expensive. It's also, by the way, yes, Criminali sent me a package with one of his bookmarks. So yeah, you get Creeper Ollie just watching y'all from wherever you're at. But it's very expensive, hard to track down. I looked at WorldCat and I found, oh wow, it is already there. It's very easy to find and very easy to obtain. So I put in an interlibrary loan because it was actually just in a province over. I'm in Canada, so I'm in Saskatchewan. It was in the University of Alberta, the University of where was it actually? Yeah, so it was the University of Alberta. Their library system had it. I put the request in. They sent it to me. It didn't take over like a month. Like it did not take long at all to get this, and I'm very happy I did. It's a fun book to read, and it's a book that I would have never been able to afford or read without the library. A similar thing happened, I believe, 2 years ago when I wanted to read the book Cold Front. And this is a book that is from that Paperback from Hell era that's near impossible to find. It is crazy rare. Like, there was only a few of them printed even when they were new. So it's not exactly an easy book to find. And luckily, again, a university in Canada had it, and I did the interlibrary loan system, and I got it, and that's how I read it. So using WorldCat, I was able to find books that I would not have been able to obtain otherwise and read them through the interlibrary loan system. So that's really cool. A nice thing about modern libraries, right? So modern libraries, there is kind of this movement towards digital, and a lot of libraries right now are digitizing items in their catalog and putting them up on places like archive.org. So archive.org has a system where they receive a bunch of digital library editions. So a library will want to digitize parts of their catalog, put them up, and you can rent them out and take them for a loan digitally through archive.org. So that is a thing that's happening right now. Another way to really get a good use of, libraries. Another great tool is, things like Libby. There's an app called Libby, and you can put in your information for your local library and just bing, bang, boom. You can rent out audiobooks or digital versions. There's a whole bunch of stuff you can do with using the Libby app. You can also, there's a service called Hoopla, which is a streaming service, and you can go on using your library card and get access to a huge supply of books and titles that way. So libraries are extremely important as a service, not only for being something that you can get physical media out of in a way that makes it available for everyone and makes art not have that restriction of ownership or space, And it's also very important because like right now, it's at least in Canada. I'm not sure what it's like in the States, but in Canada, it's kind of become like pseudo library slash. There are a bunch of computers there that people can use who need to do job searching, to need to print something. There is this way of making the library a social hub for people, and a way for people to, especially right now, again in Canada, especially a safe space for people to get out of the cold if they are a person who is in the unhoused community. So there's a lot of little things that libraries do, and I think that taking full advantage of them is the most important thing to do nowadays. Because if we're not taking advantage of the library, they might not get the support and they might not get the funding. And there's a huge cascading effect if we were to lose libraries. So I just thought this would be a fun little video to make that is just talking about the importance of libraries and why, in many ways, physical media does still matter for libraries specifically. Because even though I did talk about a lot of digital services they have and a lot of the computer services they have, there is still a barrier to entry with that, especially with like technology or anything like that, right? So if you don't know how to use technology, if you just want to sit down, if you prefer the sense of physical reading, libraries are there. And I think that's what is actually very important about physical media, in my opinion. Would love to know what you guys think. Have you guys used your local libraries? Have you ever done an interlibrary loan? Did you know about WorldCat? I'll put WorldCat in the description, and that can help you if you're someone like me who's like trying to hunt down like really rare and obscure books, just because you want to read them, not because you necessarily want to own them. So hope you guys are having a good day, and yeah, please come on next Saturday to join the Dinosaur live stream. Thank you, and have a good day. Goodbye.